Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing Dot's What She Said. Now, when I saw the title of this, Full Deck and Missing a few cards, I mean, I absolutely adore you guys and your puzzles, but it was such a cringe kind of play on words, and but I guess, it's the kind of thing that you can expect sometimes in a stand-up comedy show. So that's what we have here. Sleuth delivering this punchline on stage. If you've ever been to a stand-up comedy show, it's not unusual that the stage is so large and the stadium is so big. Obviously Sleuth is such a comedian. That you actually do have like video screens behind them as well, so that people that are far away can actually see what's going on the stage. That's the setting that we have for this particular thumbnail. Hope that you guys had a fantastic long weekend for many of you that had holidays. For us, I would say it was a mixed weekend. We've been battling a lot of construction going on around us, even during weekends. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know who to complain to next. Police doesn't care, they defer us to the council. The council, I've got 6 complaints with them now. Between evening construction, weekend construction, and frankly, they've done nothing. They haven't even written back once to actually say they've received the noise complaint, even though sometimes I'm actually talking to an individual. Anyhow, this is not the complaints YouTube channel. This is the Sudoku Sleuth channel. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to crack on and take a look at today's puzzle from Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards. So I probably should start by saying apologies for kind of changing your name a little bit. I had to go with an ampersand rather than an and to actually fit it all on the screen and make it somewhat legible. Rules-wise, I'm not quite getting the reference, if I'm honest, about Dot's What She Said. I mean, obviously there's dots and there's thermometers, but I'm not quite getting the reference, and maybe I'm just being thick. Rules-wise, we've got standard Sudoku rules, so place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Thermometers. So digits on Thermos are strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. So here is, definitely don't need letters for this one. Here is, let's say, a 2. So as long as you're increasing, you don't even have to do it in, standard increments, you're going to be fine. So that could be 6, 7, etc. What I cannot do is at any point on this thermometer decrease and go back down to 1, for example. So that is now breaking the thermometer rule set. Consecutive digits, so consecutive dots, digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. If that was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3 to make sure that it is indeed consecutive. There's nothing in here about negative constraints, so I'm going to assume it doesn't apply. By that I mean if that was a 3, no white dot between them, I'm assuming that's going to be absolutely fine as part of the solve. Now, I really wanted to feature a Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards puzzle. There's a handful of constructors where I think their puzzles are just absolutely, so intelligent. And given, with the collaboration I was doing with Timberlake, I wanted to feature one from them, or some of my favorite constructors. And they actually do have a difficult puzzle that was released just in time for that collaboration. It was even done with blobs and Mrs. Blobs. So, star-studded kind of puzzle, if there's such a thing. But I took a look at it. It was a 3-star rated puzzle, and I couldn't even think about where to start. So it didn't exactly seem right to be featuring a puzzle where I'm, failing. Anyhow, lots of talking today. I'm going to crack on with solving. If you want to play along, link will be in the description down below, as usual, for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. I'm taking note of the time, and we'll get started. So the thermometers, so one thing that kind of stands out, and I often see in Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards puzzles, is the rotational symmetry. Now the thing is, the white Kropke dots are not necessarily rotationally symmetrical. They're absolutely not. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not a rotationally symmetrical puzzle. It depends on what happens, what digits I place inside these dots. It could still be one, it's just it's not absolutely going to be one. Anyhow, Don't know about you, but I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's really no easy place to start other than to sort of see what these thermometers are all about. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7, and 7 again. So there's a couple of degrees of freedom in here. And somehow we're going to figure out how that helps us in a second. Let me think this through. So actually this white Kropke dot helps, doesn't it? If that's 1, 2, that surely can't be a 3. So I don't think that is a 3, because that would force 2 and 1, and then it won't have anything available that would be consecutive with the 2. So that does remove 1 degree of freedom, at least on this thermometer. And here's where the rotational symmetry immediately breaks. You could see it also breaks it in here, in there. Right, let's just see what else am I spotting. So that's 4, that would force 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could this be 3? I think the answer to that is no. If that's 3, that forces everything to be 4, 5, and therefore there's no consecutive digits available for that 4, so I don't think this can be 3. So I've removed a degree of freedom for the vast majority of this thermometer, just not this cell, which is really the one that matters. And let me just think. So in the column, this would also be 1, 2, 3, because that was kind of the setup, wasn't it? 2, 3, 4. What I should have done, no, I'm not going to pencil mark all of it. Back with the talking. I don't know what's going on. So we've got, no, they don't even share all of these digits. So the 4, so essentially we've got 4 digits in 3 cells. Unless I can remove a degree of freedom, I'm not sure yet how this helps me. Yeah, not sure. One thing that's interesting in here is that 1, 2, and 3 are not in any of these cells in box 4. Like, none of them. And I've got at least 2 of them in here. So 2 of them have to be on this side, at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. So I'm kind of wondering if that is forcing this to be a 2. Let's think about this. I think the answer to that is no. I could put the 2 in here. That would be 1, that would be 3, that would be 4. That's fine, and that would be 3. And then I could absolutely do something like 3, 4 in here, and 1. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah. Nearly. There's definitely something going on with 1, 2, and 3 and this white Kropke dot in 4. Box 4, I mean. Am I going to have to do this one as well? I'm not even sure I see where the overlap is. Other than this cell, is it? Is it this cell? Yeah, this will also be 5, 6, 7. Which makes it kind of interesting for these white Kropke dots. I'm going to take a look at this thermometer. I'm going to pencil mark this one as well, because just, again, so many white Kropke dots in here, they may be useful. Right, let's think about this for a second. If this is 8, they'll both be double 9, and then each of these would have to have 8 as consecutive in the same box, mind you. So that can't be 8. So that removes a degree of freedom from the entire thing. I can speak. Which gives me 1, 2 pair, and finally a digit around the 5-minute mark. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are not 7s. That's 8 and 9. Because there is no 7 in here, I think that is forced to be 8, 9 pair. Then I have 1 and 2 to complete the column, which also gives me 1, 2 pair in box 3. Yeah, this is starting to get interesting. I don't know why I didn't start there, but, you know, it happens. This has to be a 7, because it's not 8 or 9, so that's 7. That is 8. Right, we're on to something now. So let me just maybe somebody way more intelligent than me, more intelligent than me. Let's not set the bar that high after all. Might be able to see what's going on without having to pencil mark all of these, but I'll be honest, I can't. So what's the significance of this? I mean, the only thing that I can see is that there's a 6 in here because there's no 6 absolutely anywhere else in box 9. Well, I already knew this wasn't a 6. It's also not a 9 because that's 8. So essentially it's from 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. Not sure how significant that is. That 6 is not there. That 5 is doing nothing for me. That 7 and 8 is also doing nothing for me. Lovely. Too many digits. How can I remove one of them? If I can remove any of them, I can at least force a digit. Is that true? Like if I remove the if I remove literally any of them, if it's 1, then I know there's a 3 on there. If there's 4, I know there's a 2. Obviously, if I remove 1 in the middle, it actually gives me the pair as well. That could be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. This is not the way. Huh. This cell 6, 7, 8, 9, not brilliant. Right, okay. Here is something. Sorry, I just wanted to pencil mark it so that we can visually see it together. So if you think about column 1 for row 1 for a second, where do 1, 2, where does this cell and 3 and 4 all go? And the short answer is, well, they're none of these cells. So essentially, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in here. Because these cells are nowhere else. They're not on these cells, and they obviously can't be in the same box. And this cell here, from 1, 2, 3, and 4, can only be a 4. So that's not 4. And let me just remove what this is. So this is 1, 2, 3 as well. Just essentially, we need to pick one of these 2 digits, which I think forces a 2 in here, which also gives me a 1, which also gives me a 2 and a 1. No 1s, that's a 2, 3 pair. And then the kind of degree of freedom that we have here in row 1 is in this cell. Notice so far I've not been able to prove or disprove that this is rotationally symmetrical or not. Yeah, because I've definitely disproved it. Okay. Why did I think? Just ignore everything that I've just said. Clearly, I'm not quite thinking today. 1, 3, 4, 5. So one of these is in here with the 6. Yeah, this is, again, not the way. So 7 and 8 are in there. Yeah, not quite seeing it. 1, 2, and 3, they're not these cells, obviously because they're in the row. That's 1, 2, 3. And then there is a 4 definitely in here. 4, not 3. Interesting, but isn't giving me digits, which would be a lot more interesting then. There's a lot of staring today at today's puzzle. Some of you may have already spotted how to make progress, in which case, well done. But I can't quite see it. I'm not sure what's going on here. Do I really want to check these out? I mean, they're useful, but... So we definitely know that 1 is in here. We definitely know that there's a 2, 3 in here. Right. So this white crop dot I was suspicious of beforehand. And actually that 1 removes a 1, and there's now no 4. So 1, 2, and 3 are not in these cells. Again, not in these cells. That's 1, 2, 3. The 2 has to be on here, and that's not a 2. 1 can only be in box 7 in here. Doesn't actually give me anything else. Funnily enough, 1, 2, I mean, there's another 2, 3 somewhere in these two cells, but we almost knew that anyway, essentially this cell. Tricky puzzle. Tricky puzzle. I don't know if it's tricky as much as I'm not quite seeing kind of the intelligent thing behind it that would just allow me to have a lovely, elegant solve. To be fair, that's the much more likely thing that's going on here. Maybe I need more vacation time. Thing is, I'm really not sure about where I should be going next. Let's try something for a second. If this is 7, that would be 8, and that would be 9, that would be 9, that would be 8. So far, I'm not seeing the issue. And these would be 5, 6, 7. Well, it was 7, 8, 9. This would be 5, 6, which is fine. Really isn't a problem. Let's try something. Can this be a 4? No, because that would have to be 2, 3 and would break this cell. So that not being a 4 removes this from being a 5, doesn't it? So that has to be a minimum of 5. So that is a 7. 8, 9, 9, 8. And then this is 5, 6, which gives me a 5, 6 pair in the column. That is not a 5. Only place now for a 4. Well, it clearly can't be this cell. And then another 4. So that's 4. That's 2, 3 pair. They obviously have to be increasing on the thermometer. So that's the 2, that's the 3, that's the 1. And that 3 gives me 2 and 3 up here. I'll be honest, it didn't exactly feel natural what I was doing here. 4, 5, 6 with a definite 4, and this is not a 6. So 8 and 9 are in here. Again, not a huge revelation. Plus a 5 or 6, whichever one is not in there. So no 9s, no 9s. 9 is in one of 2 cells. That's a 9, that would be 8. And then that would be 7. 6, 5, 4, 3. We're in trouble. I didn't tidy up this thermometer because once I removed the 2. So that's probably helpful. And that certainly makes this no longer a 9. That is a 9. Can I do a little bit more with this? Let me just think. Again, the absence of white Kropke dots on this thermometer just in general means I've not been paying attention to it. Not the right attitude, I should say. Thermometers deserve attention, whether they have a dot or not. If that's 8, that would be 9 and 9. I don't see the problem with that. And we've removed all the, there's only one that's left in there. Okay. 6, 7 pair. Interesting, but not interesting enough to give me a digit. This cell, not 1, 2, 3. It can be 4, 5. It's not 6 or 7. or 9. Surprisingly, it could be 8. Should make 7, 9, 6, 5. If that's, yeah, it could be. I think I need to think about these white crop kudos a bit more. Where am I going to go with this? So, sorry, let me just think out loud. Essentially, what I'm thinking is, you know, we've placed 987, and I was just checking out if the 6 is fairly restricted. So I wanted to eliminate 6 from in here, and the answer is yes, because if that's a 6, that can't be 7. It would have to be 5, and then it would break this cell. And then I was really hoping that I can actually place a 6, but it's in 2 cells in here. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not great. What is this cell? See, the challenge is, I feel like it could be any of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not seeing the restriction on this white crop kiddo that would just help me make progress. 9 in row 5 can only be in here. It's in none of the other cells, so that's something. 1 and 2 are not in here. That's 3, 4, which certainly makes this not a 3, 4 pair. Also makes this not a 4. If it's a 4, it would have been a 3 as well with it, and that would have broken this cell. So there has to be a 2 in here, and this is 1, 3, or 4, which gives me a triplet in row 4, and this is therefore 2, 6, 7. Some very unintuitive deductions by me today. I don't know if that's the intent. Like, I'm genuinely not sure if this is the intended solution path. Although then there is an 8 in here. I don't think I can actually do anything else. There's another 1, 2, 3. It's 1 or 3 because it's not 2. Okay, and then another 4, 5, and I don't even know which one it is. And then essentially, the 1, 3 and the 4, 5 are in these cells. So remove that. So this is 1, 3, 4, 5. And we kind of need to think about the consequences of that for a second, so that hopefully that would just blow this wide apart and we can make some real tangible progress. Feels like I'm just constantly like on the verge of progress and then nothing. So these are 5, 6, 7. And this cell is, well, this is 5, 6. This is another 5, 6. Sleuth, just Sudoku. Seriously. 7, 8, 9, 9. 5, 6 obviously being in the same row in here, removing all the other 5, 6s. And this is 5, 6, 7. Leave it for now. Which forces a 9 in here. That can't be a 9 because that would have to be 8. Clearly that doesn't work. That is the only place for a 9 that I can see. So that has to be a 9. This is 8. This is 9. 8. 1 of 2 cells. Still not enough. I think that's all the 9s though, isn't it? No. 9 is in here. Which leaves this open up for 8 and preserves our degree of freedom in here. The 7 though doesn't. That's 6. That's 5. That's 4. That's 3. That's still 7 or 8. Doesn't matter. I'll take it. That feels like a bit of a win. That's a 4. This is 1 or 3. 1, 2, 3 again in the column. Similar to this side. Then we have, well, the 7 has to be up here. So does the 8 actually, because of these 2 cells. So in column 7, that's 7, 8. That 8 gives me an order. That's 8. That's 7. This is 5, 6, not resolved. It's fine. Another 5, 6, which gives me another 7. In here, then, I have 5, 6, and 8. That's the 8. That's another 5, 6. 5, 6s are everywhere. Oh, that 8 gave me a 4. And this is a 7. Which also gives me a 7 in here. I think that's all the 7s done, or nearly done. That's the last 7. That's another 5, 6. They really are everywhere. That 7 gave me an 8, if I paid attention. And these cells are 1, 2, 3 again. That can't be a 1 because that can't be a 2 for some reason. Yeah, because there's a 2, 6 pair in here. That's not 1. The 2 could be 1 or 3. The 3 would be next to a 4. It can't be a 5 in here anymore. Is that? No, that can still be a... No, that can't be a 5 because that can't be a 4. So that's a 5, 6 pair. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. So not a 4. Don't need the... That is a 4. Come on, Sleuth. These 5, 6s have been interesting, shall we say. 4, 5, 6 in here. Actually, better yet, that 4, that's not a 4. That's a 4. This is 5 or 6, and that is not a 6. That's 5. That's 6. 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. Is it going to go all the way? Yes, it will. Lovely. And that wasn't a 6. That's 2. That's 6. I need to place a 5 somewhere in here, and I should be able to. That's all the 5s and 6s done. That 2 means not 2, not 2. That's a 1, 3 pair. That is a digit that I should be able to write in. That's an 8. This is another 1, 2, 3. Looks like it could be a 4. No, it's not a 4. Right. Not a 2 either. So this is 1, 3, 4. There's a definite 4 in here. Right, so the white Kropke dots have to help me now. They really do. 1, 2, 1 or 3, all's fine. Come on. Am I missing anything? Not sure, not sure, not sure. One of these is 2, one of these is 2, one of these is 4. Whichever one is the 4 forces a 3 next to it. I don't want a color. If that's a 3, that would be 1, that would be 2. So imagine that this is 4, 3. This would have to be 1, 2. Come on, I should be able to see this. 4. This is not the 4. That's the 4, 3. 1, 2, as I said, 1, 2, 1, that is 2. And this is therefore 1 or 3. That is a 3, that is a 1, that is a 3. This is 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I've not made any mistakes, 1 for the finish. I think I made this harder than it really should be. But at the same time, I'm not really sure where I could have improved the solve. Felt a bit messy for their style of puzzles, but you know, I'm sure somebody will leave something in the comments to advise me, and looking forward to your thoughts. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and that you had a fantastic long weekend as well for most of you. See you back for the next one. Bye bye for now.